couple days ago, a frankly surprising announcement came out that Lucasfilm was officially doing a Mandalorian feature theatrical film, and that it was not going to be directed by Dave Filoni, but rather by John Favreau. And this was going to be the next movie to go into production, which is, of course, bucking what we had been hearing for the last month or so, that the next Star Wars movie to go into production was going to be Rey. That apparently has been pushed off, and now they're doing Mandalorian, which tells me there's been, in just the last couple of months, a lot of behind-the-scenes rustling and reshuffling and moving things around and trying to make some decisions, which is always the best way to make decisions. Mm-hmm. So they came up with that, which left a question lingering. Well, what's happening with Ahsoka? Because we were led to believe that there was going to be a Mando-verse movie with Mandalorian and Ahsoka, stuff like that, and Dave Filoni was going to direct that. And poof, like so many other Star Wars projects, that's not been mentioned at all again since. So a lot of people wondered when the Mandalorian movie was announced with John Favreau directing, well, pardon me, what's happening with Ahsoka? So, true story, yesterday as we're doing the John Campea Show, like 5 minutes before the show starts, Rob and I were talking about that, and Rob's like, what's going to happen with Ahsoka? And I said to Rob, you know what? I still 100% believe they're going to do an Ahsoka season 2. They're going to do an Ahsoka season 2. And then as we were doing the show yesterday, right near the end of the show, Lucasfilm put out an Instagram post on their social media saying Ahsoka season 2 is in development, and they just said the story continues. And they put out this little sketch, of course, that instead of Balin standing on the pointing hand of the Father Mortis God, that's clearly Ahsoka and probably Sabine standing behind her. So they're going back. They're going to do season 2. And whether or not it's just going to focus on that planet and what Balin was doing there, whether or not it's also going to pick up the story back in the regular universe where Ezra has now gotten back, Syndulla's there, what's going to happen with Grand Admiral Thrawn, or whether they're just going to keep it focused on Ahsoka, who knows? We'll have to see where they go with this. Now, of course, they ran into a bit of a road bump as the ratings of Ahsoka's season 1 declined episode after episode, ending tremendously down by the time they got to the finale, which threw up into the air, well, what do we do with this character? They decided to carry on the story. I am interested. I did not end up liking Ahsoka season 1. I thought they made too many mistakes, but they set up, I mean, one of the things that Dave Filoni is so good at is mythology, and they set up the mythology in it well enough that I'm down for season 2. Even though I didn't really like season 1, I am down for season 2 to see where they go with this story that they kind of laid the groundwork for. My one concern, and this has been a concern of mine with Clone Wars and even a little bit of Rebels, and I really like Rebels overall. Everybody knows this, but even there, in Star Wars The Force Awakens, The Phantom Menace, one of the big mistakes they made was introducing midichlorians. And at the time, I remember the big discussion, and some of you guys watching may be too young to remember this, but at the time when that movie came out, one of the big discussions amongst fans was, why are you trying to demystify the Force? Why are you trying to explain the Force? For decades, we didn't need the Force explained. It was good enough to have Obi-Wan saying, it surrounds us, it penetrates us, it binds the universe together. That was enough. Midichlorians, the answer you didn't want to the question you didn't ask. So, yeah, and then now to turn it into simply a medical condition. It's like, oh, you have enough midichlorians. Oh, you don't have enough midichlorians. What if we transfer midichlorians from one person into another person? It was just one of those things. And one of the things that would frustrate me in Star Wars lore, whether it was in the novels or in the cartoons, is when they try to double down and go more into trying to explain the Force. And while there are a number of hardcore Star Wars animation fans that really loved, like when they got into the daughter, the son, the father, the Mortis gods and stuff like that, to me it was another step in the wrong direction of, we don't need to demystify the Force. I just don't know that that's the right direction. Be that as it may, Baylan was on some kind of big personal mission. I'm dying to know what that was. Clearly, it involved the Mortis gods. Ahsoka and Sabine are back on that planet with them. I am interested in seeing where the next stage of that story goes. Whether or not they pick up with the story in the regular universe, we'll have to wait and see. So I'm a little mixed on this. I do like that they're doing a second season. I hope it's not more about let's bring out the owner's manual of the Force and let's explain it all. I hope that's not. Guys, we want to take a second to thank a sponsor of today's episode, MasterClass. Everyone, it's a new year, so picture that thing that you've always wanted to learn. Now, picture learning it from a person who's literally one of the best in the world at it, and that's what you get with MasterClass. This year, learn from the best to become your best with MasterClass. Don't just talk about improving, MasterClass helps you actually do it. Because MasterClass offers over 180 world-class instructors, so whether you want to master negotiation with Chris Voss, like I did, think like a boss with Martha Stewart, or learn the art of storytelling from the man himself, Neil Gaiman, MasterClass has you covered. Because with MasterClass, you get unlimited access to intimate one-on-one classes with the world's best. At MasterClass, there are over 200 classes to pick from, with new classes being added every month. And if you're a viewer of the John Campea Show, you probably love movie making, storytelling, television. So you would be totally interested in things like screenwriting from Aaron Sorkin, learn developing original TV series from Stranger Things' The Duffer Brothers, or maybe you like the music side of movies, well, you can learn film scoring from Hans Zimmer. And right now, our listeners will get an additional 15% off an annual membership at masterclass.com/Campea. Get 15% off right now at masterclass.com/Campea. masterclass.com/Campea. Anyway, Chris, you heard about this. Were you surprised that they announced that they're going to do season 2? What do you think this means for the future of the Ahsoka character on the big screen? Do you think they scrap those plans? I don't know. How do you see this?
I was surprised just from a viewership standpoint because those numbers kept dropping and dropping. But from a narrative standpoint, this obviously makes sense. We were left with them stranded on that planet, with Baylan still on a mission, with Ezra just coming home. So there were a lot of things where we could explore further. The thing is, though, I am only really interested, and I say this as a fan of the Ahsoka character from the animated series, I'm really only interested in seeing more Ezra and seeing more Baylan. I'm not particularly interested in Ahsoka and Sabine right now. That's not really doing it for me.
I'm also really interested in Hera.
Yes. Yeah. Love Hera. And Mary Elizabeth Winstead did a great job. Oh my gosh. My little doppelganger crushing it. Oh, fit me, doing well in the world. Good for you. Yeah. Me if I cared. Oh my gosh. Good job, Mary. So I really want more of those characters. I am left with more questions now, though, of, okay, so you guys do have to recast the great Ray Stevenson. Yeah. I mean, it's... I think he did such a wonderful job, and what a tremendous actor. But we do need to recast him if we're going to continue having a second series. Screen Rant a while ago postured that Graham McTavish would be a good replacement.
That's not a bad pick.
Davos from Game of Thrones, if those of you aren't aware of him. I think that'd be a really great actor to bring in there. And yeah, I just want more Ezra, because the actor who was playing him, I think, nailed it. And when he got screen time, I was so just enraptured by what he was doing. I want more of that guy.
I want to throw in another name, maybe. Gerard Butler.
That's Baylan. Another one that was on their list.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the idea of Gerard Butler in there, too.
He would be pretty good in there. He's going to be in the live action of How to Train Your Dragon, reprising his role.
That's right, as the dad.
Which is wild to me.
He's the right age for it
Yeah,
now, too.
I think it's great. Just a wonderful full circle movement.
More Gerard Butler, whether he's fighting tornadoes or fighting...
I love that guy. Saving presidents, you know.
Justin Long could be.
Justin Long is great for everything.
Can do anything.
Justin Long should do
Don't
all the parts.
Don't speak badly of Justin Long.
We genuinely want him to have more work.
Agent. I request him for every possible thing.
I love Justin Long.
I do too.
Is he like your godson at this point?
No,
You're like,
but
you know,
I figured
Justin,
maybe I get a little kickback after a few hundred suggestions.
That's true. That's
probably won't.
Smart.
Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called The John Campea Show Podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.